Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing good. Today, we are going to start the next lesson, Chapter 5 Spirit of Enquiry, Moral Science, Class 10. And the value that we are going to learn from it is the scientific attitude. Now, what is Spirit of Enquiry? Spirit of Enquiry is a persistent sense of curiosity that informs both learning and practice. It is mostly related to the field of science. Science. Now, what is science? Science is a way of learning about what is in the nature, what is in the natural world, how the natural world works. Yes? Or how the natural world got to be in its way. Now, in this lesson, it is not telling you to become a scientist, but we must have a basic scientific understanding or a basic sense of curiosity in our lives. Curiosity or inquisitiveness gives a new direction to our life. An inquisitive mind always shines in life. Now, why the sun is round? Why the sun shines and goes down in the west? How does rain comes down from the sky? Now, what if one day we do not drink water? What will happen to our body? Or what if, if we ask questions to our daily work that is going around us, then we will surely understand the very essence of our life. Now, curiosity is the state of active interest of wanting to know more of the people and the world around you or the society around you. It unleashes the groundwork for greater opportunities. Now, curiosity also brings us nearer to things that we are interested in. We use our observation more fully and we become more alive and engaged into our interests and wants. Now, obviously, I as a person, I was never curious about cars, about aeroplanes, or about any gadgets. Rather, I was curious about the nature. So, this curiosity also differs from person to person. It doesn't mean that everybody will have the same taste, isn't it? Most of us, we are born and we die without knowing what actually excites us, gives us excitement, or what actually gives us that zeal to work ahead. You may not have a clear vision about your life now, but when you grow up or when you are learning more of your life, you will understand that the spirit of inquiry or the inquisitiveness is very much important, and this will surely help you to grow as a human being. Now, here in the book, we are given the example of few scientists. Jagdish Chandra Bose, the first scientist. Now, Jagdish Chandra Bose was one of the greatest scientists of India. He was born on November 30, 1858. He studied in St. Xavier's School, Kolkata, and in the Cambridge University. He conducted independent research on electromagnetic waves, and he was a person who studied that plants too have life. Bose used to make his own instruments in the laboratory because uh, handmade laboratory handmade instruments in the laboratory would fetch him low amount of money. He could afford them. Bose is best known for his research into the life of plants. He was a biologist. It was at the Davy Faraday Research Institute that he discovered that plants also suffer pain like human beings. Bose was honored as a fellow of the Royal Society in 1920. Unfortunately, Bose died in November 1937, having dedicated his whole life to the cause of science. Now, why he went on studying about plants, about science? As because he was interested in it. Had he sat down in his childhood without having a vision, without having a sense of inquiry or inquisitiveness, then he would not have become the Jagdish Chandra Bose. Isn't it, girls? Now, the next scientist we are going to talk about is Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Homi Jahangir Bhabha was an Indian nuclear scientist, founding director and professor of physics at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. He is often considered as the father of the Indian nuclear program. Bhabha gained international prominence after deriving a correct expression of the probability of scattering positrons by electrons, a process known by Bhabha scattering. Now, how or why the author or the writer has given us the example of this scientist. Now, when we study this, we cannot become the next Homi Jahangir Bhabha or we cannot become the next APJ Abdul Kalam. But what we can do is actually learn from them. We can learn from their life. That if you have the sense of scientific approach, or a sense of inquisitiveness or curiosity in your mind, and the curiosity to know knowledge, then life is easy for you. You can become the person you wish to be. The next scientist we are going to learn or read about is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, everybody knows about him. There is nothing that I can tell about him. I mean, this little paragraph is not enough for him, of course, but still, let me read it out. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was a career scientist who turned to become a politician. Dr. Kalam studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent 4 decades, that is 40 years of his life as a scientist and science administrator, mainly at the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) and the Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO). He was intimately involved in the Indian civilian space program and military missile development efforts. For his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology, he is known as the Missile Man of India. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical and political role in India's Pokhran II nuclear test in 1998. Now, this is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Irrespective of his career in the scientific development in the history of India, he was also a man of dignity. His way of talking to people, to be precise, to students like you all, was commendable, isn't it? The next scientist we are going to read about is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a German theoretical physicist. He developed the general theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics, the other being quantum mechanics. Einstein is best known for his mass energy equivalence formula, E equal to mc square, which is considered as the world's most famous equation. In 1921, Einstein received the Nobel Prize in Physics for his services to theoretical physics. He discovered the law of photoelectric effect was a pivotal step in the evolution of the quantum theory. Einstein's intellectual achievements and originality have made the word Einstein synonymous with genius. So, as to conclude, the spirit of inquiry stands at the grassroots level of all major inventions and discoveries. You should also instill in yourself a scientific approach towards all the aspects of life. When you know what you want in life, what is your curiosity for, what is your inquisitiveness for, you will surely do great things in life. With this, we have come to the end of today's chapter. Please go through it once again. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.